Hey, welcome to the episode of Chadz Beer Reviews. I think I might just start doing these on Tuesday and Wednesday afternoons because Tuesday and Wednesday is my off day. I just prefer doing them during the afternoon because what I do is I do this beer review and then I take a nap. So anyway, man, it's been a long time since I did a review of a Dogfish Head, especially a new one. This is Where the Wild Hops Are. IPA, 6.5 ABV. Problem is, it doesn't say anything about it on the label. Probably should look it up. So I'm wondering if it's wild hops or like a Brett IPA. There's a bottling date on here, but I can't read it. Let me see. January 2022. Does that say 2022? Alright, let's dig in here. I don't know, usually I like to look the beer up and see what the brewer's going for. But sometimes it's just fun to dive in blind too, so. Nice, sorry, the sun's behind the clouds, so it looks like a real like burnt umber, almost brown color, but it's really like just a pretty dark gold. It's cloudy. I would not call it like a hazy New England style IPA. And as always, the foam comes up. I always pour the beer, unless it's like a sour or something like that. I always pour it so that the head comes to the rim of the glass. So there we go. It kind of reminds me of like 60 Minute. I haven't had that in a while, but I'm getting that like East Coast style pine. There's a sweetness in there too. It's not like pine resin, pine sap. Almost like a grapefruit juice concentrate. There is some kind of citrusy character in there. Definitely a fruity character of some sort, or like a grapefruit juice, or like some kind of tropical fruit juice concentrate. There's like that kind of lemony lollipop character. So, I mean, this bottle, it was bottled in January. It's only 6 months old. Well, for an IPA, that's actually pretty old for an IPA. Maybe if it was like, 9 or 10% ABV, but this is only 6.5, so it's just a regular standard American IPA. I'm trying to lean back and stay in the picture. So, I mean, could be a little oxidized, but yeah, so I mean, it's like a little fruity, a little piney. I do not get any Brett character on here. Maybe some like biscuity, slightly toasty malt, very, very, very slightly. I mean, it's the hops are the star of the show here, so let's dive in. Cheers. Reminds me of a Colorado IPA. There was a real distinct nuance to like Colorado IPAs. I remember like the what's that Twin Sisters one I did? I forget, but I remember back in the heydays of Chadz Beer Reviews back in Albany, I was doing a lot of those Colorado breweries like Avery, I think, or I don't know, I forget, Left Hand, some other big Colorado movies out there, but there was a distinct flavor to Colorado style IPAs made in Colorado. And this reminds me of that. So I would say the first thing I noticed, like it is kind of like piney, resiny, but maybe it has like a little bit of like the kind of like arrogant bastard type of hop character to it. It almost has like that cotton candy kind of flavor. That's why I always say like arrogant bastard. Like a little bit of like a cotton candy extract flavor. So I'll top this off so you guys can see. Yeah, it's definitely fairly hazy, unfiltered. The bottom of the bottle is fairly clean. I don't think it's bottle conditioned. And you can see a nice foamy head there. It's got that, almost like pine needles. It's really earthy character to it. I mean, I guess if they're using wild hops, I'm not really sure how they were, you can classify or quantify wild hops. Are you going out in the woods in the middle of nowhere and just finding hops? Probably not. I mean, I assume that some farm somewhere is growing some hops that are like brand new. So I don't know how you get really wild. I mean, like I know like the difference between like cultivated yeast and wild yeast, but wild hops. By the way, and I should have mentioned this on the first sip, is that for an IPA, this is actually not all that bitter. I mean, usually it's it's a 10-to-1 IBU to ABV ratio, so you would think like 6.5 ABV, 65 IBUs. It doesn't come off as like that to me at all. To me, it seems closer to like 40. I will say it's quite malty for an IPA, but again, that was a distinctness of the Colorado IPAs, especially the East Coast IPAs. Much more balanced. I am not picking up the citrus or tropical or any kind of fruity flavor. Like there's a fruity smell to it. Like I said, like grapefruit juice or tropical fruit juice, like concentrate. It just doesn't strike me as like authentic, like the actual fruit or the pith or peel or anything like that. Yeah, I will say like it's more bitter than a standard pale ale, but it's like for all you hop heads out there, I think you might be a little disappointed by this one. In fact, I'm actually a little disappointed by this one. I mean, because this is a Dogfish Head beer, and to me, it's not anything special. It's like so many amateur home brews that I've judged over the years. Yeah, the taste is fine. I will say, like, I'm not getting any sulfur. I definitely don't get any toasted malt flavor. Like I said, it's more like in that, just that standard, clean, two-row, maybe like a little bit of specialty malt in there. I will say, like, it's funny, like, it's more malty than your average IPA, but it doesn't have any like malt distinctness to it. So like no real toast or anything like that. Just like a biscuity kind of flavor or bready. Mouthfeel is, I put about medium. Very smooth texture on it. Carbonation is probably about medium high, something like that. It's not super effervescent like a Bud Light or something, but it's not low like an Imperial Stout either. It's just like right there. Yeah, I mean, it tastes fine. It's just not super flavorful. To me, this seems kind of pedestrian. Kind of reminds me of like going back to my days in Albany, like a Saranac beer or a Magic Hat beer, or dare I say a Sam Adams beer. Although I know Sam Adams and Dogfish Head merged a couple of years ago, so if Dogfish Head is being made by Sam Adams breweries, and maybe they're going for like a more pedestrian supermarket type, demographic, which is fine. Like this would be, I would say this would be a good starter IPA for somebody that just sucks down fancy yellow lagers. Maybe they could start on this one. Maybe. Yeah. For me, it's not really doing a whole lot. It's, as far as rating, I'd go kind of low on this one. And I'm judging this as spec. This is on the 50-point BJCP scale. This is 30 to 34. I don't think I could really go higher than that. I wouldn't put it lower because there's something really wrong with it other than just like, I mean, for an IPA, it's not super bitter, just not really flavorful. I mean, it's just kind of bland, you know? Like 60-minute, 90-minute. Those are big, bold beers. Pretty much everything Dogfish Head does. You know, whether you like it, love it, or hate it, it's still packed with flavor. But this one is kind of meh. Yeah, I think I go on Untapped. I'll give it a 3 1/4. Not bad at all. It's just not really exciting. I feel like this would be good. This would be good to offset with like your dinner, something savory, some kind of red meat, or pork, like pulled pork, any kind of barbecue, steak, burgers, something like that. Or get yourself some like sharp cheddar, or actually you can even go creamy, maybe like some brie or something. Anyway, I'm going super long. If you watch all the way in, you're awesome. Thanks for watching. I'll see you probably tomorrow, alright?